All right, I'm going to hit done there. I'm going to get started in a bit. I want to actually share this out so a few of my loved ones can actually see this presentation live. All right. So just give me one moment, beloveds, and then I will do my introduction accordingly. All right. So let me actually grab this share link. All right. Share your video. Change to unlisted. I think this is interesting. I've never seen this before. Should be changed to unlisted. What does that mean? To share the video visibility, it should be changed to unlisted. Okay, I guess when you first come in, right, and your live is starting, alrighty, I guess within the server and database of YouTube, there's some things that need to be arranged, but that's all good. So I am about to actually share this out to a few loved ones, and then I will get started now. So give me just one moment. I'm pretty sure you all are having a great evening, right? After the plethora of transits that I went over yesterday. For today, now we only have two transits that are taking place prior to sunrise next day, Tuesday, right? Ilowa Hamael, or some will say Ilowa Zamael, right? For Tuesday is concerned, Mars Day, alrighty? So that is what I'm getting into right now. I want to make sure I also send it out to a few other loved ones, and shout out to Atlantis also, right? Atlantis Awakening. I'll make sure I send it out to Atlantis Awakening also. Let me make sure I set that there for them. And we will get started very, very soon. All righty. Let me put part 5 is live now. Part 5. This is part 5. Because again, with my impromptu experiment of instead of giving you all of the transits ahead of time just on Wednesday, and then you guys can come back and see it bit by bit. It's been getting some very good responses as far as me just, taking it day by day. I know on Wednesday I gave you Thursday and Friday, right? So on Friday, I gave you guys Saturday. On Saturday, I gave you guys Sunday. On Sunday, I gave you guys, today, right? And it was, last two presentations was after midnight Eastern, but it was still prior to midnight in other time zones, right? That still have not reached midnight yet. So that's why I'm just saying, I still did it on those days, technically, right? So with that being said, let me finish sending it here to Atlantis Awakening's Discord group, right? Paste that there. All righty. So with that being said, guys, let me get started. Come on back here to the YouTube so I can monitor what's going on here. Let's even see what we got going on in the Chizat, right? All right. So with that being said, live chat. All right. So let's get this going. Peace and greetings to you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghazio Bey here in Morocco at Northwestern Maxim. How are you? Again, welcome to our 7-day Tropic Medical Astro Weather Report. However, I have been incrementizing it, alrighty, and giving you guys the next day on the day prior. So we're looking at Ilowa Hamael or Ilowa Zamael for Mars Day, right? Tuesday, right? Mars Day. If you look to Norse mythology, you'll see where Tews come from, right? For Tuesday, all right, pertaining to Mars Day, all right. And because if you really have a mind that is set for metaphysics and solid truth, no beliefs at all, it's very easy and clear to actually see how the AstroCivics is applied even in duration notation that we call time. And we know, quoting Prophet Noble Drali, time never was when man was not, right? Because even right now, if you think about it, on the East Coast, right, it is still technically, right, roughly, let's see, 56 minutes after $2,200, right? So just 4 minutes to $2,300, right? 4 minutes to 11 post meridian Eastern. However, near Chennai, India, it's 9.5 hours ahead of that. So it's already Tuesday near Chennai, India. But it's not like that for those of us that may be, East Coast, Northwest of Mexico, which is under the occupation of the United States of America Corporation, right? Under, was that, if I remember that title, 28 United States Code. What is that, 2000, or is it 3002? Title 28 United States Code 3002, Part 15A. I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly. You guys can put in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but about, the federal corporation occupying the land here. Here, it's still technically Moon Day, right? Ilola Gabriel, right? For the East Coast, Central, Mountain, and Pacific time zones, all right? Which are the 4 time zones that are under the Virgoan astrological zone and the Leonian astrological zones, all right? So with that being said, we're going to get right into this. Let me just go and share the calendar here with y'all so we can see what 2 transits are we talking about today, all right? So with that being said, boom shakalaka, here we go. So we're looking for the 28th May 2024. All right. As we can see, Luna is still completing its transit via Aquarius there, just under the 28th. That's what the moon symbol in Aquarius means. Luna is still currently transiting Aquarius. All righty. After making its ingress into Aquarius, we know earlier today at 1644. However, that is, if you subtract 12 from any number after 12. It gets you the number that you're looking for. So that is 4:44 post meridian Eastern, when Luna ingressed Aquarius just after being void of course for 42 minutes after making its last aspect sextile to Neptune. All right. So here for the 28th, we still see Luna is transiting Aquarius, of course, to next day, which we call, actually the day after, quote unquote, tomorrow. We will see on, that is Wednesday, right? I zoom on out, right? Wednesday is when Luna will be making this last aspect, alrighty, in Aquarius, of course, to Uranus. It'll be square Uranus, and then it'll go void of course for 10 hours and 12 minutes. I know I'm going ahead, so I will bring that up again, quote unquote, tomorrow, alrighty, when I go in on these 4 transits and 1 lunar ingress for the 29th. But we're going to focus on today, we're going to focus on the 28th, all righty? As we can see that at approximately 10 minutes after 0200 hours, Luna is trine Venus, and we will see what that denotes collectively. Remember, always, though, guys, to really get the full gist of the transits as they're transiting, schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy session with brother Hasan Ghazi Obey. You guys already know I'm huge on AstroLiteracy. One, because I know you guys are geniuses. And really, first and foremost, this is about studying self. Man, know thyself and thy father, God Allah. Father, the process which mother chose. Allah, all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. God, to call upon. And that's just according to my studies. You guys don't have to adopt what I say. Father, God, Allah is the process which mother chose to call upon, all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac, right? Father, again, the process which mother chose. God, to call upon, because etymologically, you look up the word God, it denotes to call upon, right? It's a verb, not a noun. And Allah, all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac, all righty? And so that's just where I am thus far in my study, so that we can be able to take ourselves out of dogmatic thinking, all righty, and be able to see how we can adequately use the metaphysics so that we can navigate our lives adequately and appropriately upon Midgard earth plane Asha, right? Or some would just say the earth plane, all right? So with that being said, schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy sessions so that you can actually comprehend the snapshot of the sky at the time you were manifested, to see what energies your mother made you with. And you will also comprehend where you've progressed thus far also. Usually people, they start out with one session, but normally there's follow-ups, alrighty, and you guys will definitely be able to see the gems that are there, alrighty. And shout out again to TUPAC, right? That is the Universally Professional Astrology Community. We meet every Saturday, and guys, remember, you want to be a part of TUPAC. we're suggesting that you bring a buddy because you know it's 250 units for life. However, bring a buddy and we will make it 125 each. All righty. So that is almost like, you know, you bring a buddy, you know, it's the whole so-called buy one membership, get another free. However, it's an eleemosynary tuition nonetheless. However, for a lifetime for you to be able to get your hands on the quick thinking moon and Mercury, all righty, astrology workshop that was the introduction for TUPAC, as well as the other 36 videos that are now in our Google Drive for the astrology concept correction discussions that we're having every Saturday from 12 noon Eastern to 1400 hours Eastern. So that's from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern every Saturday. All right. And last but not least, there's a solar lunar trine taking place just 6 minutes before 0600 hours, which is actually after sunrise, as I see. So I stand corrected. That's happening approximately 6 minutes after sunrise. I said earlier, both transits are happening prior to sunrise. However, the lunar Venusian trine is taking place before sunrise, and then 6 minutes after sunrise is the solar lunar trine. So both trines there, harmony, right? The trine is harmony. So we see sunrise is taking place at 0500 hours, 48 minutes approximately, as well as the sunset taking place at 2000 hours, 20 minutes. All right. So without further ado, let me go and stop the screen share there. All right. And let's get into it. Let me go and grab my handy dandy pen tablet here and let's share screen. And now we will be able to see the chart. All right. All righty. Whoa, there go my broski doski. Hey, broski doski. Silent 7 is in the building in the chat. Peaceful greetings to you, beloved brother. That is my beloved brother in whom I'm well pleased. I know you guys know a bit about the things that I've done as far as like media, right? One of the hugest portions, if not the other half of the video portion that you guys know I do as far as video editing or content creation is the music. And that brother there, you guys see in the chat, Silent 7, he is the one who showed me how to actually program on a Triton keyboard back when I was about 14, 15 years old. All righty. So you guys, you know, those of you that come to me for music, engineering, mixing and mastering, ultimately, I guarantee you that is the giant whose shoulders I stand upon. All righty. When it comes to actually being able to do what I do with music at this time. I mean, I was already like, you know, into music, performing and things of that nature. But once I really comprehended production, right, and I never forget where I come from. So I'm so happy to see my my brother in the chat checking this out. All right. So shout out to you, bro, as always. And I trust people you guys get to hear the music. All righty, that Silent 7 does. If you're not familiar, man. It's such a history there, man. And I just look forward to seeing the music that I know is about to come out. It's going to be supremely off the charts. All righty. So I know you guys are in for a treat once you guys start actually hearing Silent 7 buzz more. All righty, within your social media circles or wherever you're you know, listening to music, so to speak. Right. So with that being said, let's go and look at these two transits. Let me go back to the calendar just for my eyesight so that I can be sure to make sure we have it here. However, first, sunrise is taking place, as we can see, from near the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic for the 28th May 2024 at 0500 hours, 48 minutes, and 17 seconds. We see the sun conjunct the ascendant, which is what we call sunrise here. You guys can see my cursor. The sun is at 7 degrees Gemini at 33 minutes. 7 degrees is a degree of cantankerous irritability, right? It's basically an overall strife degree. However, what's interesting is we know 7 degrees is a Libran degree, so it's dealing with balance, right? Partnerships, things of that nature. So it would be best when it comes to this kind of energy, knowing that that's the degree that the sun is at, right? And maybe even kind of getting into, you know, 7 degrees currently. What we can actually see with this particular transit is to be vigilant in making sure that we are protecting ourselves as far as our peace of mind and things of that nature. So we're not irritable, so we're not dealing with strife, and not being and also not bring things upon ourselves, all righty, that will cause us strife by us miscalculating or making an unnecessary decision or mistake that really, how can I say it? It's not even really a mistake. Like, it's no point of being petty, rude, or anything like that, because where the sun is, this particular energy, you can even see if you're not doing it yourself, but you may come across like shows on your favorite streaming apps or anything like that, or maybe you may be within earshot of something that could create some type of strife, some type of cantankerous irritability. All right. So with that being said, the sun actually rules Leo. What house out of this tropical regiomontanous system is on Leo? And lo and behold, this is the fourth house at the Taurus degree, right? 14 minus 12, which 2. So that's a Taurus degree here. So what we can see is we can allow ourselves to really alleviate ourselves of being attached to some type of treasure that we intend to possess. So any family quarreling amongst children or things of that nature, or maybe there's someone in the family who's transitioned, so fighting over the will is unnecessary. Or maybe when it comes to land and property, maybe some type of property as far as land is concerned, or a home. This is where making sure avoiding the strife and cantankerous irritability is taking place first and foremost on this particular day. Maybe you dealt with that today. Maybe you were around some family and there was some cantankerous irritability you encountered today. However, leading up to the sun, where it's going to be for this particular sunrise, it would do one's great to make sure that they are doing their best to neutralize any issues that could, just create discord. I mean, we are doing what we need to do to shove aside the discord that is facing the nation every day. So we should do our due diligence to do so. All righty. So let's get our interactive chart adjusted and let's get right to this. So we know prior to sunrise, we are having a lunar Venusian. All right. We're having a lunar Venusian trine take place. And it's taking place approximately 10 minutes after 0200 hours. Let me see, I hit this once. And 28th May 2024 at 0200 hours, 10 minutes and 3 seconds. We see Luna's here at 5 degrees Aquarius, 25 minutes. All righty. Still in the 11th house, of course, right? Along with Pluto. It is trine, however, Venus. All righty. And Venus is here at 5 degrees Gemini, 25 minutes. And that is within the 3rd house. All righty. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. They're 5 houses apart. So just even that alone, we can see that the fruitful communication, so to speak, right? Because 3rd is 5th to the 11th. So the fruitful communication in groups, or maybe via even electronics, because we know Aquarius is the 11th sign and it's naturally tied to the 11th house. So very interestingly to even see that taking place. And still, however, 11th house cusp is there on Capricorn under Saturn's dispositorship. Saturn, of course, is here in the 1st house in Pisces. And what we can actually see here is where in group work, what we can do is make a very powerful grouping, so to speak, in how we can be able to make some sudden changes in one another's lives, or in other people's lives, or maybe someone else's children's lives also, right? Because sometimes people look at Pluto as just death and rebirth, but it's also power and transformation. So this is where the people can transform the structure of how they do things. And transforming that structure is really just based on making sure that the idealistic things are brought to the forefront, where one's subconscious mind can be able to make transformations by being able to, make oneself actually have joint energies, right? Joint account energies, sharing energies in a way that a conversation yields fruit. All righty. And that fruitful conversation will actually lead to one's making the sudden changes necessary. Everyone may find something that they're learning from one another, so to speak, in some way, shape, or form, which actually helps in the sense of communication unity, which is the 2 words that make up the compound word community. All righty. So this trine here is really huge for me as far as if I could boil it down to one word, community is very huge. So take advantage of the fact that one can transform, very Plutonian, right? Transform cantankerous irritability into a strategic way of neutralizing such strife by making sure that one is learning, however, also sharing information also, so that there's a fair give and take, so that the sense of community is further nurtured, all right? With that being said, our last transit is taking place just 6 minutes, all right? Just 6 minutes after sunrise, right? So now we have the solar lunar trine that's taking place here. Alrighty, let's get that going. Hit the next button there, which means soon the Ekadashi TT is happening, right? I'm going to look that up for you guys too, so you guys know what's going on with that. Ekadashi TT should be very, very close, right? I will let you guys know when the Ekadashi TT. As a matter of fact, let me go and look here on Zipid and find the Ekadashi TT for you all, right? And I will share in a bit, but I want to at least have it set up so you guys can see it, right? And I'll bring it up after we go over this last transit. Want to make sure, see where we are. Yep, that Ekadashi is, yep, okay, I see when it's happening. Around looks like June 1st. All right. However, let's stick to this. So the solar lunar trine happening right after sunrise, as we can see, right? Like I said, it's just 6 minutes after sunrise. Alrighty, and we can see the sun is clearly in the 12th house. Moon is there in the 9th, in the sun's joy, right? The sun actually finds its joy in the 9th house. However, these are 4 houses away. Fourth, 4 houses away has a sense of security, property, a sense of family, so to speak. However, 9th house is the relational communication, and the 12th house is the 6th house to the 7th, which would talk about the health of the relationship, health of partnerships, health of the overall relation, period, actually. So with that being said, this is where I think people are really able to find structure in their status amongst their peers, how they're seen amongst their peers. However, here it's just really showing there is a very fortunate transmutation of energy when it comes to higher learning amongst the people. And here some sudden changes are made as information is poured out. Alrighty, and with that information being poured out, here's where one can be very active in sharing. Alrighty, sharing one's resources, sharing one's, information, food, any other particular resource, right? Maybe resources of different contacts, networking, things of that nature. Just and that's interesting because I had a bit of like an experience like that today, right? However, with that being said, here is where we can actually have a sense of community in terms of health. Alrighty, and when you're thinking moon and sun, you're thinking subconscious mind and heart. So here's where the subconscious mind and heart are in a particular harmony, where there is a public communication that is taking place that actually helps to set aside strife in any way, shape, or form, where people are actually making decisions, alrighty, to make sure that they are allowing self-preservation to reign supreme in any and every aspect pertaining to their life. And so I just really see, even when it comes to being active in foreign affairs, right? Making sure one is being very active in long distance, relational situations. Here, it will do people best to just, a really loud transmutation of the things that are there. Fortunately, you might find this is also a very MacGyver-like situation where you may have to literally take a few lemons and maybe just a bit of date syrup and make the most bomb lemonade ever. right? Provided you have some spring water available. That kind of energy. You'll be making the best out of what's given. And I actually have kind of that uh, five loaves and two fish type energy. You know what I'm saying? Be able to make the most out of a little. All right. Questions, comments, and/or suggestions going once. I'm going to actually show you all just very briefly, if I can. Right. Let me make sure I can do that. All right. I want to show you guys. All right. Make sure I have it up there. Let me stop the screen share on this one. And the next screen share that should be taking place, I thought, let me see. I could be wrong if. Yes, start this screen share. All right, so as you can see on the 1st of June at about 1935, right? A Kadashi TT is starting. I wonder if it'll even take me there. That's very interesting. Let me see if I can go to June here. Takes me to June, right? And it's still for, let's look for it for near the Baltimore, right? Pardon me. For the Baltimore Corporation, near the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic. We'll look at June here, right? And we can see that a Kadashi is taking place from 1900 hours 35 minutes, so that's 7:35 post meridian Eastern, till about 1711 on the 2nd. All righty, so that's a Kadashi. For those that, and it's a Krishna Paksha Ekadashi, right? So you know that the Krishna Paksha in terms of the Jyotisha, or some people call it Indian astrology. Krishna Paksha is when it's going from full moon to new moon. However, even if it was a Shukla Paksha or Krishna Paksha, Ekadashi, this is when we fast from grain, all righty? And it's interesting because, again, I know I shared with you all before, in observing what some people may practice as a quote-unquote Hindu spirituality, as far as observing the Ekadashi Titi, dealing with, if you really know that particular story of Vishnu and Lord Kubera and stuff like that, what you actually find is that there's a science there. The reason why one's abstained from grain during the Ekadashi Titi, Ekadash means 11, so it's the 11th set of 12 degrees, right? So every time the moon moves 12 degrees, it's a different Titi, T-I-T-H-I, Titi. So during the Ekadashi Titi is when we abstain from grain, all right? Because obviously, since the moon rules water, the body actually needs water at that time. So you're abstaining from rice, oats, any form of oat, even if it's oat milk ice cream, abstaining from wheat, right? Any type of breading like that. But if you wanted a pasta, instead of eating a wheat pasta or semolina, then get a chickpea pasta, right? Because that's particularly not a grain. So that way you can still get pasta, eat that or whatever, but stay away from all grains, all righty, during the Ekadashi TT. So that's from the 1st June 2024 at 1900 hours 35 minutes until the 2nd June 2024 at 1700 hours 11 minutes, where Dwadashi begins, all right? So with that being said, now we know, all righty, when we're not eating grain, all righty? And usually, you know, most will say, you know, try not to eat grain 4 hours before Ekadashi starts if you can. However, do not eat grain during the Ekadashi. And the benefit is you're giving your body time to actually do something that is very natural and healing, because the body obviously needs that liquid during the Ekadashi Titi, needs that water to not be absorbed, alrighty, by grain absorbing things. So, and I guess you're probably even staying away from beans also to a certain extent, right? You don't want your you know, water absorbed. And what you'll find is when observing the Ekadashi Titi, within about 72 hours, there's something that happens that you, even if you tried to make it happen on planet, you couldn't make it as perfect as the universe aligns it. So that's about it right there. You know what I'm saying? Indeed, bro. Indeed. All righty. I appreciate you commenting. All righty. And anybody else that catch this a little later, or whatever, you see the playback, guys. You already know. Make sure you interact in the chat. It's all good, right? I know we're probably at like video number 500, and I don't know. It's about what, 515, 516. I don't have to see, right? However, let me stop the screen share here now. We're familiar with why I also, and I try my best to make sure I remember when the Ekadashi TT is, whether it's the Shukla Paksha or the Krishna Paksha TT, right? As far as the Ekadashi goes, right? So I'm glad I'm able to share that with y'all. As a matter of fact, I'm about to go and get back with my loved ones, right? I thank you all for joining me. Thank you all so much. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys can, always see what's going on here, especially since I'm breaking the weather reports down day by day, right? And like I said, even even our loved ones within TUPAC, they're like, yo, hold up, man. Yeah, I like the day by day, because that way I don't have to go back to it all being on Wednesday and then I gotta like scrub through the video to find which day it is or whatever, so I trust this is actually helpful to you all. Alrighty. So with that being said, I love you all. I'd like for you to rest and recharge well. I will see you all next day, right? Ilo Hamael, right? Or Samael for Mars Day, Tuesday. Rest and recharge well is where I say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace.